difference, one cup at a time. Yeah, this is tea time. Yeah, making a difference, one cup at a time. Tea time. So be sure to grab your tea, grab a seat, and tune in to Miss Liz. Tea time. Making a difference, one cup at a time. Tea time, yeah. Tea time, time.
Well, welcome. Evening tea time. We did it, guys. 3 shows today on this Thursday. We really have done it. This morning we had slow motion filmmaker. Then we had mental health personal story. Now we have the incredible Joi Brown. That's right. Returning guest from season 2. I thought it was season 3, but that's how fast tea times really go in a year. It's already been 2 years since this girl has sat and had tea with me. So let's sit back and let's really get to know what has happened in 2 years, 2 whole full years. So I'm going to do the disclaimer and the bio. But this girl, I'm telling you, she's on fire. And if you've been watching her promos, the song that I put with her is This Girl Is on Fire. So make sure to check those out as well. Even after the tea times are on, you want to check those promos out. You really want to check all of this incredible guests that are on Tea Time this year in 2023, because we even brought back 2021 guests. That's how Miss Liz works. So the disclaimer for Miss Liz's Tea Time live show. Miss Liz, myself, is going live using StreamYard. Before leaving a comment, please grant StreamYard permission to see your name at StreamYard.com. Please be advised that the content brought forward for any Tea Time show hosted by myself, Miss Liz, is always brought forward in good faith, however may bring forward dialogue and opinions that are not representative of my platform. The facts and information are perceived to be accurate at the given time of airing. All Tea Time guests and audience participants are responsible for using their good judgment in taking any action that may relate to this discussion. The content brought forward may include discussion for some where they may be emotionally at risk. It is significant to know that this show is engaging in discussion forums only to offer and inspire awareness and connection, and is not providing therapeutical advice. If you have any questions about the disclaimer or the panelist discussion, you may freely contact me, Miss Liz, through my email at bookingmissliz@gmail.com. Moving forward, should you choose to voluntarily participate in tonight's show in any aspect, I myself, Miss Liz, welcomes you. And should you decide that this show is not made for you at this time, I also respect that, and I will see you at a later show at a later time on Thursdays. That's right, Thursdays. If it's not a Thursday, it's a rescheduled tea time. But we are doing Thursdays this year in 2023. So now let me get Joi in here. I am so happy to see this girl. Like, it has been 2 whole years. I can't even imagine what has happened to this beautiful girl in 2 years. So Dr. Joi Brown is a living testament that the potential for greatness lives within each of us. Being raised on the I can mantra transforms her life to believe in herself and walk boldly in her gifts and talents. Joi has motivated thousands to step into their greatness and lives a life of purpose. Joi is a career strategist, certified life coach, international best-selling author, empowerment speaker, and entrepreneur known as the Positive Energizer. That's right. If you remember season 2, she was the bunny. She was the go-getter. So this year she's going to bring back better. So let's see what she's got. So I'm going to drop her in, but to get Joi Brown's full bio, check out Mrs.'s Facebook page. It is there. It's listed. Check it out. Joy, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
It is an honor to have you. I am like super excited. Can you tell I'm like a little kid in candy store?
We're gonna have a good time tonight.
We sure are. So let's get into it, Joi. What has happened since season 2?
I know it's been 2 years. So much has happened since season two. Well, one, I've received an honorary doctorate, so it's Dr. Joi Brown, and so what an honor! Like I literally got, the honorary doctor, my dream job, all within almost the same week. You talk about life changing, and so I do believe that all things are possible, and it was the divine time. And again, this honorary doctor is for my work and empowering people. Like we said, I'm all about educating, equipping, and empowering, which birthed my 3 E's. That is what I do each and every day. And I definitely want to help people walk and step into their greatness. And so I'm truly privileged and honored and just to be used to be a gift. And I always say my mother named me well. She had a purpose when God gave her this name. And so that whole positive energy is how I show up. It's the light that I have, even in life. When you're going through things, I had to remember whose name and whose I am. And my mother named me Joy for a reason. And I want to bring joy to this world. And everywhere I go, I make value and I add value, and I want to make a difference and an impact. That is my life's purpose and calling.
So, Joi, we haven't seen each other since 2021. And that's a long time, 2 whole years, right?
That's
And you
wow.
still look the same. You still look gorgeous, girl. Like, it is amazing. But you've had some incredible magazine covers and some speaking engagements, all of that good stuff. So if you'd like to share that with the audience. And we got some questions that are popping up here. So I'm going to
Okay,
pop those
great.
in a little bit. But I want to know about magazine covers and all that good stuff,
So
girl.
yes, I have been privileged to be on a lot of different magazines, from Overcomers. I just received a lovely, phenomenal Woman's Award from Miss Nanya Mansana, which was, again, you never know how you impact people, or who you meet may change your life. And so I always say it's how you show up, because you never know, the people that you meet may bless your life, may reward you, may honor you. And so I was truly privileged to be amongst some mighty powerful women for this phenomenal award. So that kicked off my year. But last year, I've landed my dream job. I've been working fiercely, as the new HR director. So my tagline was HR intern to HR director. So most people that know my background know that's my intro in that space, because I too am a testament of an internship, and I was able to understand and walk in my gifts. But as I look back over my life, people poured into me. They saw something in me when I didn't even realize it was there. And so they watered this flower and this seed to grow into the person I am. And so I do believe it's my calling, it's my purpose to be that inspiration, to tell that story, to help people navigate now their federal career. And so I've been blessed to do a lot of speaking stuff, even on my job, to help educate, equip, and empower my workforce, potential job seekers. So it has truly been great. I've been on definitely some magazine covers, again, telling my story, just being that inspiration and everything. And I have some upcoming things that I'm super excited about that I'll be able to share, more of me and more of my story and everything.
Well, and you gave me the word better.
I
Like,
did.
the last time you were on was Joy. This year you gave me better, so I knew better was coming. And I was like, where is she going with this? Right?
I have a
So
whole word. People who know me, I am big on vision. I'm big on affirmations. And my word, I have several words, but one of the words that I manifested this year for my life was better. And when I reflected on that word, it says, if you want, and I always talk about in my speeches, I believe that the power is in the pen, and you can always rewrite your own story. You control your destiny. And again, as we know, you are the owner of your own destiny. And so if I say, Joy, I want better in my life, I want to change a situation, you gotta, you saying it is great, but if I don't put no steps in order to do that, it will never be better. And so 2021 was my my year. That was the year that so much in my life changed and stuff was happening. One of my greatest years. And then last year, because I believe in keeping it real, Miss Liz. We're gonna talk about this tea. Last year was a challenging year. It was really challenging for me. And it blew me because 21 was top of the world. 22, I was literally in a battle. But I understand, and I say every level you go, you got different things that you got to deal with. And if you understand that, and I am more aware, and so in this year, it's going to be better because going from a great year to really fighting for my life, I felt like at times this year, I'm proclaiming and declaring better. And I want to execute that. So that's one of the words I said. We're going to talk about how to be better, to do better, to want better. Starts with vision, manifestation, and then putting stuff in action. So that's why I said it's about the better. It's about the better, about the possibilities as we begin on a new year. And, we're just in February. And I always say it is okay to reset, to restart, to revamp, to revise, to go an alternate way. Just think about the GPS. You got your GPS and you miss your turn. What does that thing do? It reroutes. Well, in life, sometimes you got to reroute some things. And it's okay. And working with different clients, I want them to know that it is okay not to be okay. I think we've seen all through stuff. We're coming out of COVID. We've seen just so much stuff happen with just mental health. And so my word was a simple word, better.
And sometimes
Just
simple
better.
is better. Let's
Yes.
keep it simple.
Let's keep it simple. It's not hard. Yes.
So we have a question here. What do the 3 E's stand for and why those words?
Great question. So my 3 E stands for educate, equip, and empower. And so my magic number is 3, love 3. And the E's, because I'm always, when I'm writing, it's always 3's or P's or something or D's. And so one day I looked at, these E's. So I educate every single day, from HR to different stuff. I'm about people and I'm always telling information about how to do something better. And I call myself the career strategist because I'm always navigating people how to navigate this federal job process. And so I'm really educating them. And then I want to equip them. So after I give them the knowledge about what to do, the education, then I want to equip them with what strategies. How do we do what we said we're going to do? How do we put stuff into practice? By having goals, by having strategy, by doing some plans, milestones. So that's the whole, we want to equip them with the tools and techniques. But then we got to empower them. And that's when we come with that, instilling that no matter, once I'm educated and I'm equipped, I'm empowered and I can do this. That's that confidence that I can do what I set out to do. Even when life knocks you down, I know what to do to get back up. I know what to do to keep it moving, to keep the one foot in front of the other and keep moving and know how to pick myself up. And so that's what the whole educate, equip, and empower. And so those 3 E's is something that I live by. It's something that I do every single day on my job, on anywhere I go. Those are my 3 E's that make up Joi Brown.
So we have a question here for HR department. This person says that they work in HR department. Have you seen a change in the HR services since COVID?
Oh, I have, definitely. So one thing about it, again, just think about, let's go back. We knew when COVID first started in that March, everybody said, okay, go home. Who knew that we would be home 2 years, right? We would be home 2 years. So the way in which we worked in HR definitely changed. One of the things we had to come up with new processes, new procedures. And now, we call it reentry, return to work, all of that, returning to work. We are now in this hybrid environment where for the first time ever, I have like 25 years. When I said I have really grown up in the federal government, I have really grown up in the federal government. For the first time ever, now we are able to have remote work. that is something that you really never heard of. If you only, it was very limited. But now because of the pandemic, we now have opportunities where we can now reach diverse talent, diverse skill sets with remote work, which means if the building is in DC, where most of the federal government agency headquarters are, you no longer need to move to DC. But there is talent in California, there's talent in Texas, there's talent in Florida, there's talent all across the United States. And through this pandemic, open opportunities, we were able to see that. Because why? 2 years we was at the house. 2 years you were not coming to the building, most government employees. So we had to know how to, what we always say, pivot. That was the word we kept coming out of the pandemic. You had to learn how to shift, how to pivot, how to re-engineer how and the way you do work. As a leader, you had to figure out, how do I engage my workforce in this team environment, in Teams and Zoom environment? How does that show up? How does my staff know that I'm still there for them? It just looks differently. But again, it opens up so many opportunities. And I just want to make sure that I'm doing my calling to make sure that, because I've been in this federal space and it's daunting for people who just really don't understand. But I have positions that I'm hiring for. It makes no sense that I'm looking at vacancies and I have a population in a candidate pool that is fearful or just doesn't understand the process to apply. That's a disconnect. So I want to make sure I'm doing my part. And this is how you add value. And this is how I educate, equip, and empower to understand that process. So I do webinars, I do info sessions, I'm on job fairs, I do info sessions even for the job fairs, I do stuff for colleges and universities about just how to navigate this process. And it's simple, just asking questions. So podcast and pod shows, and like we're doing tonight, just open up so many opportunities that we now have that you can just get the word out.
Right. And you can reach a larger audience through these podcasts and that as well, that you weren't able to reach before. Because it was all like business meetings, right? It was only through the company, where now you can say, like, let's reach out to this other person and that other person and really grow a network more, right? So we have another question here for you, Joe. We have a question on your doctorate. How did you go about that, and how long did it take, and how does that work?
Okay. Well, actually, I was recommended. Again, it's based upon your life's work, about what you've contributed to the community, because again, like, I've been doing service for like ever. And like you said, I grew up in a family that all I saw was service. So that whole I can starts with, I was very young. I watched my grandparents be very active in the community. I grew up very active in my community. So when you talk about service and giving back, that's all I know, because that's all I've seen growing up. I raised my son to give back. We was involved in the community. And so it was rewarded and recognized for my empowerment to the community and basically just giving back to a community and answering the call. So that is what it was recognized for and everything. So greatly honored. But again, as I always say, it matters how you show up. And people, even in one of my coaches and mentors always said, people are always watching. And you don't think about, what does that really mean? Yes, because you never know who you meet may change your life. And I always remember when I first started, even when I started working in the government, my mother said, even when I was an intern, don't burn bridges. Always show up well, be respectful. So that little thing there, what she told me when I first started, paid off. It's how you show up. You want to be known for being somebody who's, respectful, responsible, a go-getter, someone who will ask questions, someone that that will finish a task. All of that helps you because, again, you want to be known for that co-worker who can do the job and get the job done. And so that little bit paid off in big ways over my life. And I said, there were people along my journey that I say took a chance on me. And I didn't even know that all of this was in me, but they was like, hey, come with me, Joy. And, when I first started and do this workshop on careers. Okay. And little did I know that was a seed planted in what I'm doing today. And so when you talk about your life and as you reflect on everything was orchestrated, as you look back and you like, that was for that. And when I went through that, which I thought I wasn't going to make it, that prepared me for this. So when you talk about overcoming, we got overcoming stories. Yes. You talk about how did you pivot and how did you have to change and what were you going to do and how did you have a plan of action and what was your pivoting moment? I always say my pivoting moment was having my son who's about to be 25 on Monday. Can't believe it.
Already.
That's why I can't believe it. He'll be 25. But that I would say was my pivoting transformational moment in my life. Because if it wasn't for him, I don't know where I would be doing today. But when I had him, everything was orchestrated. And everything now, I'm like, wow. And
Right. And
wow.
you look back and you're like, holy cow.
Right.
Right. And
It,
and you look at yourself and you say, who was that girl? Like who were I? Who
thank
was
you.
I? Like, like I look in the mirror sometimes, I'm like, oh my goodness, who's this woman that I'm looking at right now? Like
Yeah.
I was that mouse, and then I'm just like this lion. Now I'm just like, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna bite you. Like, get out of the way.
Right. And you just said, ah, and I know when I meet, these like great people, and we've met a lot of different people and speakers. Sometimes I just sit at and I just be like, wow, I'm at the table. And that's how I felt about this job. It's like, and I look at every job I've had. Like I said, I've been the intern, I was the specialist, I was the team lead, I was the supervisor. And my next position, I wanted to be a supervisor of other supervisors. And I want to make the value. So in my life, I thought I was going to be a deputy. And this is how it worked. I was like, okay, I'm gonna apply for be a deputy. I'm gonna be kind of deputy in HR. And then God was like, no, Joy, because a deputy would have meant you had to report to somebody. But he says, I need you at the head, because there are going to be things that I need you to do that you're going to need to make the decision, and it stops with you. It starts and stops with you. And when I got that, I said, I was putting myself in this own box. And he was like, no, I need you here, because I know if you get here, you're going to know why you're here. And so when I tell my team, I'm grateful, and this is my dream job, because the story of how I got here. And I understand the assignment that I may be the first, but I'm not the last. And I know I'm creating a legacy for people to come back behind me. So I'm building my legacy from day one, not when I leave. I'm making impact from day one. And just in my 1 year, we have leaps bounds, and I'm changing, I'm educating, and I'm redoing our website. I'm helping us rebrand who we are, because I need diversity, and I'm making major initiatives. But I understand my assignment and the purpose that I have, because I'm very in tune with the calling on my life. And I take that very, very personally, and very, very just blessed to be in that position.
Well, and
Truly.
I love that you're saying that, Joy. Making that impact, taking that transformation, the diversity, growing, changing. Because if you stay the same, you're gonna be a strong, stale tea. You're not gonna budge.
Mhm.
And that's why you have to show that you can move, and you have
Mhm.
to be a woman of your word, or a man of your word if you're a
Mhm.
man. We have to really keep our integrity and our morals and values on the
Mhm.
table and up front. And that's one thing we got when we got to meet each other, was Joy was like, Liz, like, you're gonna have to move, girl. Like, you're gonna have to get uncomfortable, because you're just a little too comfy there. Because I've seen since season 1 to season 4, like,
Mhm.
yeah, we're in season 4 of Tea Time, and uh, uh, completely booked. Like, it
I'm
is
so proud of
amazing.
you.
Like, right?
Look at
And
you.
you have grown so much in 2 years. Like, it's just the amazing. But we've kept a friendship, and we kept staying connected and
Yeah.
saying, what, how are you doing, girl? Like, oh, I got this coming, and I got that coming. you know we really need to do the support for support in
Right.
order for us all to grow. Right, when we
Right.
all
And
shine,
that's
we
what
all
it's about.
grow.
Right. And that's what it's about. Like I said, you just never know who you will meet that will impact your life.
Yep.
You just never know. Just different people. You will never know. And then the connections that you make with people. I don't have to see Elizabeth is a whole nother country. And I said, oh, when I come, I know I got friends everywhere, but you never know how people will impact your life and the opportunities or the exposure or whatever it is. And I have seen, like you said, you're all booked. I am just so proud of you. But you got to build that connection, that partnership. And that's what it's about. I know I would not make it here. I didn't make it here by myself. Like
Right.
I said, there were people who poured into me and who watered me. And that's what I'm doing. I am paying it for and watering a next generation. Anybody I touch. I want to be, when my life is over, I want to be said that she impacted me by something she said. She believed in me. She encouraged me. I knew she was there for me. She kept it real with me. She gave me her all when it's all said and done,
Yeah.
because you
And
just
that's what I
never
really
know.
love about you, Joy, is you keep it real. Like, you're the real girl. Because even when I was getting a little just too comfortable, you're like, Liz, what are you doing? Like, let's go. Let's move. And
Mhm.
we need that push. We need people to say, you know what, I don't know what you're doing, girl. Like you're standing still. Let's move. And as an HR, I think that's really important that you build the relationships and build those connections, right?
Mhm.
And I want to get into Joy's tea because I feel
Okay.
like Joy's tea has really gotten strong in 2 years because I have been watching. I watch all my guests, even if they've on 4 years ago. I watch and I see, and I know that last year you had a couple ups and downs. You were like,
Mhm.
and then and we stay connected. And then you also wrote a book, which I want to talk about tonight. So I want to get into all of that good stuff. But what kept you moving when you struggled, Joy?
And that's a great question. I think what kept me moving is I had to really remember who I was. And really, like I said, we're gonna keep it real. We're gonna talk about the tea. And when and again, my name is Joy. So that's what I say. I know my name, I know my purpose, but sometimes in life, whatever the situation may be, sometimes it gets dark. I don't know about you, but I'm just gonna keep it real. It was just dark. But what light that kept me was one is my faith, but also what kept me in the midst when I thought I wanted to give up. There were people in my life who reached out to me, who had me on their mind, that encouraged me. They were my sounding board and got me through. And I'm just going to keep it real. And I wouldn't have made it without them. I wouldn't have made it.
And we need that, right? We need that person that says, you know what, don't give up on yourself. You got this.
Yep.
It's dark right now, it's heavy right now, but you're going to get through this. We
Yes.
all need that person.
Yes.
We all need
Your
that one
community.
person.
Yes. Oh, yes. When I say, because that's what because again, the devil will think that you are by yourself. He will go into those places. So that's when I said, like your mindset
Yep.
and your mental space, because you never know what a person is going through. I could be smiling every day, but you don't know I am breaking inside. But there were people who, no matter what, and these people that knew me, knew me, but they thought it right then and there. Let me text her. Let me send something, just something. And
Yep.
that was God. That was my light. Because it'd be so dark sometime and you'd be like, whoa. And that's why I said, and I just would not give up. But those people who poured into me, who thought it was a robbery, helped me get through. Helped me remember your mother named you Joy. You are light. You add value. You make a difference. You're going to get through this. Got me through. And so when I
Absolutely.
say better, oh, I mean that. And that simple word, that's my manifestation. That is my manifestation.
So, Joy, what is your tea tonight that you're going to give me? So, for the letters TEA, what 3 words you going to give me, girl?
So, what I'm going to give you, the first one, again, as we talk about, I would say is your mindset. And I say the mindset because to me is so important because the mind, it's a powerful thing. It's such a powerful thing with the mind. And so when they say like peace is priceless, and that is so true, and just that's that simple word. But the mindset is so important, and that's why I'm big on affirmations. And even through this, I had to make sure that I had to surround myself, the vision, the words, the affirmations, and I had it all in my office. But you know where I needed to have it? It wasn't in my bedroom, where I lay my head. Like my meditation was there, but all my affirmation was in my office where I spend it. So you know what this year is? Guess where it is? It's still in my office, but it's in my bedroom. So every morning I get up, I look at that board and I manifest what I want in my life, starting with the mindset. And then the other word I will give you after your mindset you become is I had to do something. That's that whole movement and action because I believe it doesn't work. It be great on a board and in a vision, but if I don't do any work, To get it there, it's just a vision. It's just a board. It's a dream. I want to make dreams into reality. I want to give people strategies and techniques to change their life. I'm going to give you tools to help you. So it would be that whole movement, getting it into action and being able to do something. And that last word that I'm going to give you is whole believe. And it's got to be believing in yourself. Because no matter what happens, no matter what people tell you, no matter what they try to box you in, they tell you who you are, what you're not, you got to believe and know who you are. And that's what grounded me. So everything that I've been through had to remind me of why I was named, and knew I was named it, but it got dark. But those things, my mindset, I'm better than this. I'm going to get out of this, telling me, then putting steps to help me get there. And then believing, baby girl, you got to remember your 2021. So God prepped you for greatness and going to knock you, and you're going to go through some stuff, because that's going to give you more story and more context to help somebody get to their better in this year.
Absolutely, right? Just because we have a good year doesn't mean that the next year is not going to be bad, but that's to add to the story. That's to add to the purpose and the why, because maybe it's a different direction. You know, this was your direction in that year, but you need this to happen in order to get to the next direction, to get to the next part, right? You really, you really need to transform. You know?
Yes, every level, every level, every level is different levels. And then I also understand that every level I go, everybody can't go with me. They're not supposed to go with me. And I do believe that in life there are stories. And I always say you are the author of your life and you have the power of the pen. And I even talk about this in one of my speeches, that, you know, just as your favorite sitcom, you know, people, you know, die off and go off shows. I think that's in life. And I'm learning that there are seasons within our life of our long journey, the story of Liz, the story of Joy. And each chapter, it's a different story, it's a different narrative. And you may start with me, but if we're not, but again, depending on where this chapter goes, you may no longer be a part of that next chapter. And you have to be okay with that. And it's nothing wrong, but you learn that, because every level I go, everybody can't go with me. They're not supposed to go with me. And that's what you have to learn.
We have to learn that people are in our lives for a season, right? They're not going to be here for the life haul. You know, we all are born and we all pass. We all move on. We all find a different route and different direction. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no reason to be evil or negative about it. You just say, you know what, thank you for the blessings and lessons, and now let me go on. But you're going to be a part of that story. But now I need to get into the present. I need to get into the future. And that's exactly what the T is, right? It's the past, the present, and the future. We need that transformation. And that's what I'm getting from you tonight, Joy, is the transformation of believing in yourself, you know, taking the tools and really moving forward and getting to your dreams and pushing yourself. Because if we don't push ourselves, how can we expect anybody else to push us?
Right. And that's true. And like you said, no matter what, and I believe that everything you go through, there's a story. That's why, you know, your podcast T, and that's why I love it. It's about your story. And I believe everybody has a story. And I want to share my story, because you may think, well, you know, her life is so perfect. Just like, you know, the stuff that happened when we see these, you know, just stuff that we've lost some major people. Major people. They had a story. And, you know, and some of that, I didn't even know them. And that just shook my world, because I just was like, wow. And I just said, I want to make sure that I'm authentic enough. And people know me. I lead like this. I'm very open with my staff. I'm a people person. And I want to be able to connect. And I'm good at connecting with people. But I show up as myself. And I've, you know, been a single mother. I've been through the journey. So, you know, my life, I mean, I have achieved everything through God's greatness and people pouring into me, but I've been through some stuff. But what has grounded me is remembering everything I've been through, which stuff that I didn't think I was going to make it have made me stronger. So my greatest tests have been my greatest testimonies. And so that last year is going to birth, and I already know, because I already know it's going to birth new things that God gave me because of what I went through. And so one of the things I'm super excited for is, I dropped it last night, a little teaser on my page.
Yes,
It's
you
called
did.
Battered,
And I shared
Bruised,
it. I was so
and
proud
Not
of you. I was
Broken.
like, oh my goodness, look at her go.
So, honey, when I got the call about the show topic, I said I can just shout right there because you don't even know what I've been through last year. So when I say divine appointment and stuff in life, I don't think stuff just happens. That's not my faith. It's divine. Everything is ordered in according to his purpose. So when she said, "Oh, I'm doing a show and it's called Battered, Bruised, and Not Broken," stop. Let me shout right now. Because, honey, that's my whole last year. Hello, let's just keep it real. And I'm looking for women who could be authentic for us to have a conversation to be a blessing other. Done. Hello, sign me up. That's my whole story. That's my whole life.
Well,
And
it's
so,
that three again, right? You have the
yeah,
three
it's
B's,
that three. Hello,
right?
it's that three. That's what I'm saying. It's that three. And so just grateful because I do believe that you need platform. That's why I said through magazines, through everything, through speaking. It's the platforms that even our conversation tonight that you take a little bit away, that you watched us and she said believe and not give up. Even when I'm dark, she said she kept moving. She had people pour into her. She remembered who she was. Something about tonight when you're going through, I want you to remember that you're going to get through it. I am living proof. Living proof. Living proof.
Absolutely.
My
And you mentioned, and Joy, you mentioned about the author, the story of your life. You wrote a book with some of the past sisters that I got to meet in Detroit two
Yes,
years
I
ago.
did.
I still can't believe it's 2 years since we've seen
I
each other.
know, Miss Dr. Teresa Mosley. Yes, I was part of her book because she's about the passion, purpose, and peace. And those are her three P's. And yes, those are her P's. And so I was honored. And again, my story is, and she was looking for, authors to write about, trials and tribulations in life. How do you encourage people? And so, I was trying to think, okay, what am I going to write about? Because, which story do I want to talk about? So my whole chapter in that book was called The Transformation to Triumph. Because again, I had a situation where I applied for a job, not the job I have now. I applied for a job previously, got the job, and then was downgraded. And so, didn't take away no duties and everything. But in that moment, you talk about hard. I was the director of the HR, handling all the HR, going through a transformation, being downgraded, about to lose pay within 2 years. But I had 2 years, but I had leaders. This is how the story, I had leaders who said they believed in me. Go, I'm going to approve you to go on this detail opportunity over here. Go to the detail opportunity. Got there, day one. The person I was supposed to be helping me and training me had a family emergency. Was out. Okay, new job, Brent. What you gonna do? Okay, well, what we do? We went to work, figured it out. Was over there leading an internship program. Now, remember, I told you how I got started. I started as an intern, right?
Yeah.
So I'm over here at a new job running an internship program. Won't he do it? 360, right? Follow the dots. Leading an internship program. I did that for 3 to 4 years. In my time period, the supervisor who was over said, "Joy, I want to bring you over permanently." I said, "Okay, great." Because remember, I had 2 years before I was going to lose pay. In that 2 years, she made me permanent. When I got the job offer, I had to look at it double time because I thought they made a mistake when I saw my salary. So what I thought I was going to lose in 2 years, God gave me triple, not double for my trouble. Gave me triple and made me whole. So when I tell you, in that test, I showed up every day. I never missed a beat, even when I was going through it. You being downgraded, but you still got to hold your head up high. You still got to show up and do the work you're supposed to do. But you talk about rough. But that right there was my greatest thing. But that propelled me and landed me to where I am today. That helped me to get the job, my dream job I am now. But do you see the circle, how it came full circle? Started at an intern. Managing an internship program. Well, I know how to do that. I started one. I was one. I know what it's like. I get it. And managing that and propel me to do greater in things that I'm doing now. But what if I would have gave up then? What if when they said when I'm gonna downgrade, what if why you gonna down what if I had that type of attitude? Do you think my supervisor would have let me go on a detail? Do you how you show up?
Yep.
And I know it's hard because my mama, she might know. I go to mama, help me. She gives me reality checks. My mom, my sister, my son. She helped me. Hold your head up high. Just figure out your plan. And that's what I did. I get it. Life beats you down, cry, pout, whatever. But I got to get up. I can't change. I can't stay there. So I have to figure out how I'm gonna get up and what am I going to do to get out of this situation? Put something in place. Call a friend. Hey, I need a job. Well, you got something over there. Hey, that's what the community. And I had a community that looked out for me, that helped me get to where I am. So I said, you can't. Successful people say they are successful for a reason, but it takes a village. It takes they got their community. They got their community.
And you're really making some really good points tonight on Tea Time. For all the viewers and listeners that are coming in, please let me know where you're tuning in from. If you'd like to see your comments, you do have to give StreamYard the permission. I cannot put your comments up because of community guidelines. Miss Liz has to follow the rules or I'll get kicked out. So please give permission. And if you can't, just personally DM Miss Liz, go to my Facebook page and send me a DM and send those questions to me and I'll get them out to Joy. Again, I want to thank you, Joy, for being so real because I love real people. You know how I like real because I'm that roller coaster real woman. Like I'm going to go up, I'm going to go down, but I'm going to always rise. Mm-hmm. You might think I'm down there and I'm staying down there, but I'm coming right back up because that's what a roller coaster does, right? The roller coaster goes up and down. And we have that in life. And without those roller coasters, we wouldn't have a story. We wouldn't have that journey, you know? We need a ride in life. We have to have some excitement.
Yep. It's going to make you stronger. I know it, honey, I know it's painful going through. It ain't comfortable. It's like conflict. It ain't comfortable. Ain't nobody running the conflict. Oh, let's have conflict today. But if you're able to get through the conflict with better tools, better techniques to communicate, figuring out how we are able to hear each other. Can we put some work into you come out what? Better. That's that word. You come out better for it.
And you just mentioned something, Joy. Communication. Communication is number one. Yeah. You know, that is one thing I've noticed since COVID. Communication is being really guarded, very laid back. Oh, well, I'll get to it later. Well, you know what? We had 2 years to play that laid back. I'm going to get to it later. Let's get to it now. Let's move now, right? And like you said, Joy, a lot of people, they say, oh, well, look at her. She has everything together. You know, all the magazine covers, all the features, all of the speaking engagements, all the good, you know, but we still struggle as individuals, as human beings. We have those dark moments. And Joy, I really want to thank you for sharing that. And I am so happy that you wrote with Dr. Teresa because she's an amazing lady. Check her out as well. Like all of the sisters that I got to meet and brothers, because there were a few brothers there as well, that I got to meet 2 years ago, truly blew my mind away. But we have questions coming in, so I want to get to some of those questions, and then I want to get into some makeup or perfume that you have going on, girl. I was like, what? Where'd you go with that now? But we have a question here. So what is the definition of a career strategist?
Okay, so a career strategist is someone who's going to help you navigate your careers. And I call myself the strategist careers because, again, I want to take you from where you are today to what your dream job would be. If you want a career pivot, if you want to change, if you want to help you, position yourself a little bit better, again, having a coach or career strategist can help you navigate that. And so one thing I work with my clients about, and we figure out kind of where you are today and where you want to go. I just want to update my skills. I haven't updated my resume in a long time. Well, it's time to do that. Well, I haven't really interviewed a while. Well, we can work on those interview skills. Or if you say, well, I want to do this, but I have no idea what I want to do. We're going to talk about that too. And it's the whole explore. I think we get to, well, I always say we are always becoming. What do I want to be when I grow up? I'm still growing. I'm still growing every single day. Every day that you have is a great day, and you should live a day of purpose. But it's never too late to have to hit the reset button on your life and do say, I think I want to try something different today.
Right.
I don't even like going the way home the same way. But that's what I want to encourage people in this life. And I think that's what, definitely with the pandemic, we couldn't stay the same. The way in which we work and live now is still very, very different. And so some people, and we saw it, businesses who did not learn how to change didn't make it.
Yep. You had to be ready to pivot. You had to be ready to do different.
Yes.
And whether it scared you or not, you had to move. You really had to move. When COVID was a wake-up call for a lot of people. Yes. And like it put fire in me. I was just like, I should just be relaxing. Like everybody's at home. Let's just relax. And I was like, no, like get on the floor, get going and all of that. Right? So we do have a question here about speaking. What is the difference between an inspirational speaker, empowerment speaker, and a motivational speaker? Or is there a difference?
Well, it probably could be all the same. Again, it just being a speaker. I say I'm an empowerment speaker because that's one of my E's and stuff like that. And people say, well, Joi, are you a ministry? Well, again, God is the head of my life. I wouldn't be here without him. And so even though I'm not a quote minister, but I still do ministry because I'm about the people. I'm in HR. I got to be about the people. People are at the core of who I am each and every day, from a coach to a mentor, to HR, to anything I do within my sorority, to anything I do with them. People are the center. So I'm a people person. And so, and I know I've always had the gift to inspire. That's where that I came from. My grandmother always said, no, we don't say I can't in this family. You say I can. So even when I was growing up, I always believed, because she told me, baby girl, you can do anything that you set your mind to as long as you believe in yourself. I was instilled in that. And so even when, life happens, I got to go back to that. I got to, what's in my grandma, baby girl, you can do anything in your mind as long as you believe in yourself and figure out how do you go from here to there. You got to believe, put some strategy in place, build your community, and put the work in, and don't give up, even no matter how hard. But it takes the whole. You can't do one without the other. It's the recipe. You got to do it all. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the work.
So another question we have for you, Joi, is consulting workshops or seminars. How did they get a hold of you for any of that, or do you have any of those programs?
Oh, yes, I do. So I have a lot of different programs. So you can reach out to me on my website, which is www.3 followed by 3 E's consulting.com, or you can reach me on social media, Facebook or Instagram under 3 E's consulting.
Awesome. So I want to get into the makeup. You got some sheer butter or something going on, girl? I was like, what? Yeah. Where's she going with that?
I don't really talk about it, but yeah. So when you talk about entrepreneur, so I actually had that before I started birthing the 3 E's. So I've always loved, smell goods. Who doesn't? With women, love smell goods. And so I had this product that, again, it's called Perfume Chick. And so I've literally been selling Perfume Chick for like 4 years now. And so when you talk about, and so it's a natural hand whipped shea butter company, because again, I bought it, I supported it, and then I figured out, I could become a distributor. And so that is my other thing that I love to do. So, I am Sensational Perfume Chick, where I say I'm going to make you smell good, look good, and feel good with these shea butters. So they're scented shea butters. But again, that all is a part of my brand. I'm like, remember the 3 E's, educate, equipment, and power, smell good, look good, and feel good. It all brands together, helping you. It is something about when you put it on, you're going to be like, oh, I smell good. Then you're going to be like, oh, I look good. Then you're going to feel good. So it all is about
how you're going to be good.
And so it is a pleasure. When we talk about pivot, like I said, in COVID, prior to COVID, I had all these events. And that was really my first year that I really started selling. So I had all these events lined up. And the butters was in the house. I said, and I'm like, I had all these in-person events. Well, nobody doing in-person event. I was like, well, what am I going to do? And I knew I was going to eventually get a website, but guess what? The website came to the front of the list. I developed a website, which now I have all my shea butters on the website. I then became the distributor that delivers. And then I was like, oh, this is what, the Uber Eats and all the DoorDash people feel like, because I literally dropped off shea butters to people's houses. Because remember, COVID, wasn't nobody going out. But you talk about how I saved my business. That year I surpassed the first year because I built relationships. I did my social media. I had my website. I did promotions. I kept the word out. And then I had referrals. So I've been doing this, for 4 years. I have, I do pop-up events. I do private events. I do a whole bunch of stuff. And now, I distribute and I, ship my products, and I have family in Texas that wears my products and all over now. But again, it's all tied into my brand of who I am. And so even with the shea butter, I want people to feel good, look good, and smell good. Right? All over shea butter.
And it's like the little video that I created for you, Joy. The change mindset. Change your mindset really makes a difference, And again, this woman is incredible. Check out her full bio on Facebook page, Miss Liz, and reach out and connect, because this is what Tea Time's for. It's for connection. It's for networking. It's for building relationships. Just because there's other guests that are on that do similar things does not mean you cannot work with them. It does not mean that you can't reach out to them. Have them on your podcast. Have them on your talk show. We're all here to share. We all get along. Like, I'm a people person. I'll share my people if you share your people.
I know that's right. Yes. And I'll even offer, free career coaching session or free session. If you just want, I'm here and I'm trying to figure out stuff, I offer free sessions. And so I am making myself available. I tell my staff and the manager, I will make myself available. You have someone who is here. I have offered. All you do is got to pick up the phone, text me, email me, send me a message. I am making myself available.
So, Joy, do you have any speaking engagements coming up?
I do have some speaking engagements. So again, I am happy that I am one of the speakers of Dr. Teresa Mosley's Peace and Purpose Summit that's coming on, Passion, Purpose, and Peace Summit that's coming on April 13th through the 15th. Check it out. Check it out. It's a free event. You don't want to miss it. She has dynamic speakers all across this world. We have a dynamic message. And so I'm just going to give you my little title because, I already got my little title out there. So I'm speaking about the DBA. Like, Joy, what is the DBA? Dream it, believe it, and achieve it. Because you got to dream, you dreaming it, but then you got to believe it, and that's achievement. And so that still talks about the mindset, putting into the action and belief.
Right? And that's what you gave me when I asked you for your tea tonight.
Yeah.
And this is what it is. People don't have to give me the words, the TEA. They have to give me the tea that they serve. Yeah. I can't serve Joy's tea. Joy can only serve Joy's tea. Miss Liz serves Miss Liz's tea.
Yeah.
Miss Liz just holds the pot. I just make a mess. I just spill it. And a lot of people think spill the tea is gossip. Well, we do gossip of education, awareness, teaching. Mm-hmm. That's the gossip we do at this table.
Yes, it is.
And that's where my guests come, and they really just pour, and they give you all of the resources. So there's no reason why you can't reach out. There's no reason why you can't make a difference. The resources are there. The resources are being given to you. So check that out. And again, I'm going to check out that Dr. Teresa. I got to get Dr. Teresa on Tea Time. That's what I have to do. Because she hasn't been on Tea Time yet. I have to get that girl on Tea Time.
Yes. Yes.
So Joy, any future plans for you in the next 5 years?
Oh, future.
Or you live 1 year at a time, girl. How you doing this?
No, I mean, future plans, somebody just said, Joy, you are rocking as this, director, but they keep saying, Joy, that senior executive level is calling your name. It's calling your name. I said, I know. So one day I am, that's also, if you know about the federal government, that's like the highest level within the leadership. So I probably will answer the call, one day, but I am just grateful for what God has given me right now, being HR director. I still teach at my alma mater. And so I enjoy teaching to future HR practitioners in a space because I want them to know that I too sit here where you are. And I know that this program prepared me by the network and the community. And I tell my students, don't let this be the last time that you reach out to me. Talk to me. I'm in a space that you want to be and pick my brain. I'm gonna help you navigate this whole what you're trying to do. Network. It is power in networking. It is power in networking and building your community. And again, that is what I leave. So I enjoy that. And just stay tuned, like follow me. There's a big something that's coming that I can't spill it
There's
yet.
something. Da, 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 da. Don't you
Something
hate
that's
that when you
coming
know
yet.
there's something really big coming and you're like,
So y'all just remember, like the girl didn't give up. And even when I thought that nobody saw me and all of that stuff, God saw me. And he said, I'm going to put people in your life that see you, that see your heart, that see your commitment. And one day they will call your name. And it's going to blow your mind. That's how I felt about the doctorate. That's how I felt about the job. And that's why I said, I'm so honored when people reach out, Joy, I want you to do this. And I'd be like, thank you. I thank you for thinking of me, because you could have thought about anybody else. And that's why I thank you, Liz, for this opportunity. But I take that so humble, and I'm so grateful just to be on a platform, to use my God gifts and talent to be a blessing and bring some joy to this world and give you hope. Because remember, joy is light. Joy is light in a dark place. Joy is brightness. Joy is energy. And that through it all is how I made it over and how I pressed through. Because I'm going to bring joy. I'm a living
you're
witness.
the joy girl, man. Like she brings
gonna
joy.
I'm going to help you bring it. But stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned.
Oh my goodness, I am so excited to know what is coming around the corner. I know when we have these big things that are coming, it's really hard to say, oh, well, this is, but we have to hold back sometimes, and we have to say, you know what, you got to wait. You got to wait, because you need that big reward at the end of that hard work. If you spill too much, then you give it away, and then people are just like, oh well, yeah, I knew it was coming. Yeah, I knew it was coming.
No,
but you don't know what's coming. Like, honey, you got like a little bit. Like
when I tell you, because when I say, and everything, like you said, even like starting with the phenomenal war again, the war was phenomenal. Remember the year I've been through, y'all. Remember the last year, hell and back, but I pressed through. This year I want better. Start off with the phenomenal women's war off the break. Okay, I see it. We it's gonna be better. We're gonna manifest in little stuff. The opportunity to come back to Teatime to spill and be vulnerable. Because I said, oh, I'm gonna give it to you real. Because honey, I don't know about y'all life, but I'm gonna tell you, honey. But I'm also tell you how I'm getting through. And if I can help you, if it works for me, use a strategy that I've talked about, I'm sharing, and other guests I've shared to help you through. But I'm just gonna keep it real, because nobody will be healed by silence. Exactly. That's what they wanted. We can't do that. We won't be blessed. We won't give back. We can't be silent. We can't do that. Yep. And I'm blessed to be on platforms that I can speak authenticity to somebody, to bless somebody's life, because it offer how I can help you. And that's why I say I help people step into their greatness, how to navigate, how to help. And if you just say, I don't know where I'm at today, that's okay. We're going to be on this journey together. I don't care how long it takes. Absolutely. I'm going to be your coach. I'm going to be your mentor. I'm going to be whatever you need me to be to help you get through.
And we need that, right? We need to stay connected. We need to, we need to build those relationships. That's the only way we're going to make a change for all of humanity and all of our businesses and relationships and families, communities, countries, is by building that relationship.
Yes.
Relationship is really important. And I love our relationship and I love our friendship. I really appreciate, and I love seeing you. Like, it has been amazing. We're already getting down to the hour here. Wow. And I just want to get into it really quick. We have less than 2 minutes. You gave me the color red for a favorite color. Why red?
So I gave you red because red, bold, daring, brightness. And when I think of bold, and I think of fierce, and I think that was my color because maybe of what I went through. But in life, you got to be bold. You got to be daring. You got to be fierce. You got to be steadfast. And I think those were words that just resonated with me when I said bold. I'm going to step out. I'm going to be bold with it. I'm going to declare and decree some things over my life, over my space, over my mindset. And I can't do it being, not speaking up. I'm going to find my way to be that bold, that daring, that dynamic, that energetic Joy that I know that I am inside of me. That sometimes I may have forgot, but no, that's who you are.
That's who you are, girl.
That's
And
who
I love you for who you are. And I want to thank you for joining me tonight on Tea Time for a whole full hour of 333. That's right. We've done threes. We've done the E's. We've done the B's. We've done the P's. We've done all of them. We've done these 333. So I want to thank you, Joy, for joining me. I want to thank all the viewers and supporters out there. If you're watching the replay, please push hashtag replay where you're tuning in, because I always like to hear where you're coming, and give me feedback. If you want to see more, if you want to see something different, if Miss Liz hasn't touched the subject yet, I want to know about it. So we do have January's guest, because Miss Liz did catch COVID in January. So I have 2 guests that are returning as rescheduled on February 20th. And then on the 22nd, I'm coming with 3 more shows. So it's going to be a busy week for Miss Liz. So check that out. And check out Joy, and check out all the incredible things that she's doing. And check out their promo material. Even if the tea time is over, you can still reach out to them, because there's different ways. Check them out, because Miss Liz has done some twists and turns, so you can still reach them. Their websites are there. All of the good stuff is there. So please check that out. Again, thank you, Joy, for joining me. It was a pleasure seeing you again. And I want to thank all of the viewers and people that came in and sent their questions through the DM. I do appreciate that. Highly appreciate that. We're going to have to find another way, Twitter and Twitch. We're going to have to find some ways that we can get you guys in here. But thank you again for that. Miss Liz always has backup. I always have the phone here. I always have monitor here. So we do all of that. So again, thank you. And I will see everybody February 20th for 2 tea times. One on safety, domestic abuse, physical abuse, child abuse. We're going to be doing abuse, but we're going to do safety. And then we're going to jump into journaling, how journaling saves a life. That's right. Get your pens and papers, because we're going to start journaling, and we're going to do some leadership with writing. So we're going to be doing that. And then on the 22nd, stay tuned. Those 3 guests will be coming up. So check out Miss Liz's Facebook page and all of that good stuff. Until then, I will wish everyone a good night, and I will see you guys on the 20th and the 22nd with 5 tea times next week.